Kia ora team, Brad here from Everfit. Welcome to my YouTube channel if you haven't been here before. Now these three exercises are the best for helping with back pain. They're called the Big Three, developed by Dr. Stuart McGill, and I guarantee if you can get these going, they're really going to help stabilise your lumbar spine, help with pain, help with function. So check these next three out. Okay, the first exercise is pretty simple. It's called a curl up, but you must make sure the setup is on the money, totally correct. So you want to lie down on your back. Make sure that the spine is in neutral. So hands placing under the lower back, and they are like pressure receptors, making sure that your spine isn't totally flat and not totally raised. Okay, so you don't want it totally extended or totally flexed. You want it in neutral in the middle. So the hands are there to make sure it stays neutral. Then one leg down while keeping one leg up. That puts a bit of torque in the pelvis and makes it a lot easier to maintain that stability. Then it's not a curl right up. It's actually just a very small raise from the neck and the sternum and then back down again, while keeping that neutrality around the lumbar spine. So hands as pressure receptors, and then just a nice little raise up and then down. So maybe up with a count of 1 and then down with a count of 2. So really making use of that eccentric phase as that muscles are lengthening under load. So you might want to try and do that maybe 8 to 12 times. And then have a little bit of a break and repeat with the other leg up. So that's exercise number 1, the curl up. Now if you're getting a little bit of neck pain with the curl up, then make sure you try and tuck that chin in. Because when you tuck the chin in, you engage the anterior muscles around the cervical spine, which helps stabilize a little bit more, and that can help reduce the pain. So what I mean is like this, and then when you're coming up, if that's a little bit sore, just tuck the chin in and down again. So that little tuck in can help relieve neck discomfort and improve neck stability while you're doing that curl up. The second exercise I call a modified side plank. Now, this is one of my favorite exercises that I like to give to runners to ensure that their glute medius are firing, which maintains stability of the pelvis on that impact phase of the stance, so that you're not leaking energy with that pelvic instability. So the way to set it up, make sure you're lying on your side, make sure that the elbow is directly underneath your shoulder, your knees are just in front of your hips, and then you want to bring the pelvis up and out so that you're straight and stacked. So the shoulder, hip and knee are all in alignment, and that is a modified side plank. So it's really firing that glute med on the downward side. And then you just try and again breathe, hold, and then you can just come back down the same way that you came up. So just bending in the middle. So up and out, making sure that everything's aligned. Glute med, everything else is firing around that core while the lumbar spine is in neutral, and then back down. So you might want to try that maybe 6 to 10 times, holding for between 10 and 15 seconds on each side. So that's exercise number 2, modified side plank. Now, if you'd like a progression on the modified side plank, if you find it's a little bit too easy and want to progress things, then what you can do is lift that top leg. So lifting that top leg just loads things a little bit more, increases activation. And it also really helps engage the obliques a little bit more and the lat dorsi. So that's the modified side plank progression. Now, the third exercise has many names, but I tend to call it a 4-point point and push. So to set it up, make sure that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, your knees are directly underneath your hips, and then make sure the spine is in neutral. So this is all the way down, so that's when the lumbar spine is extended, and then that is when the lumbar spine is flexed and the pelvis is backward and the back is arched. So make sure you come into that neutral position. When you're in that nice neutral position, make sure your neck is long and your shoulders are away from your ears and your chin is tucked in. Now, in that position, what I'd like you to do is to raise your left arm and your right leg. So it's opposite arm, opposite leg. Come forward, so point with the arm and push with the leg. Come up into straight and then back down again and place it. So then other side, right arm and left leg. So you push, point with that right arm, push back with the leg. Make sure the pelvis stays stable. Pretend like someone is eating a meal off your back and you don't want to spill anything. So it's quality. And then bring it back down again. So with that, you might want to try 4 to 8 each side, maybe holding for between 3 and 5 seconds. And if you're unable to do that, you can just start with just an arm. So just taking one arm forward, or even just a leg, and maintaining that stability through the core, through that lumbar spine and pelvis region. So it's always quality over quantity. If you are going out too far and losing control, bring it back a little bit so that you're staying within capacity. So that's exercise number 3, the 4-point, point and push. So there you have it. The top 3 lumbar spine exercises to help re-engage the core after an acute back injury. And they can also be used to prime the core in any stage of your training program. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you got something out of the video. If you have any comments, questions, please put them below. Otherwise, go out and champion compassion, be kind, and I'll catch you on the next video.